Hi, friends. Thanks for joining us. Do us a favor. Smash that subscribe button if you haven't already, because many of you have last week. Thanks for the huge growth in subscriptions. Benny, where can they find us on social media?
Yeah, you can find us at Ray Benny Sports. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Check us out on Reddit and Discord. And don't forget, leave us a rating on your favorite podcast provider.
And special shout out to our show sponsor, Fahrenheit Airbrushing. Stand out on the ice, pavement, field, or in the stands with a custom airbrushed helmet, goalie mask, or any type of project. A local Manitoba business with affordable solutions. Check out Fahrenheit Airbrushing on Facebook or call them at 204-891-7431.
And biggest thing, don't forget to tell them that Ray and Benny sent you.
Benny, what is one word you'd use to describe the Bomber win?
I'm going to go with resilient. Kind of got down. I mean, first, obviously, defense, first stop of the game, a few drops from Calgary, so that definitely helped. Bomber offense went out, scored a touchdown right away. But then after that, in that first half, Calgary kind of took over a bit. Winnipeg scored late to kind of make it, well, kind of not kind of, but to make it closer. But we saw the Bombers fight back, right? They got down early. It looked like Calgary offense was unstoppable. Second half started, and the Bomber defense showed up, and the Bomber offense, unfortunately, couldn't get it going as much as we had hoped, but they did enough to take that lead. And then Calgary taking that late lead, a 104-yard drive, which also was aided or helped by a sack by Serezna, which puts at the 2, I think it was. And they still drove down the field and scored a touchdown. And you're sitting here going, oh my God. Defense was pitching a shutout in the second half until that moment. But then the offense got into field goal range. Sergio Castillo hit the field goal, and the Bombers walked off with a victory with that late field goal. So they kept fighting back. They kept getting down. They fought back. They showed, hey, we can stay in it in these games, and came away with victory.
I was quite surprised at how polished both teams looked in the first week. Sorry, how polished both offensive looked in the first week. I'm going to go with Walter-esque. We had a really good look at the big name free agents that Walter picked up in the offseason. Broxton, there seemed to be some really good push in regards to the running game compared to last year. Oliveira averaged more than 7 yards per carry. There's definitely something going on in the O-line different than last year with not many changes other than Broxton. Tommy Neal.
Ellersby. Don't forget Ellersby.
Pardon me?
At center, Ellersby, right?
Oh, right.
Eli.
Who was the backup?
Yeah.
So I'm sure Eli or Tuili will get back in when he is healthy. Tommy Neal and Tim White led the team in receiving and receptions. I don't know if I can criticize the secondary too hard. I thought Moxie was pretty solid in his debut as a Bomber. So I think it was Walter-esque. I think all his acquisitions, all his big name free agent acquisitions, trying in English, had a really good night.
Yeah, I was hoping for a little bit more on that last drive because Serezna was doing his thing, right? And, I put it on Twitter and people came after me a little bit. And I know Willie Jefferson had a very good game as well. Because that last game, it was all Serezna. And I was hoping, those DBs would make a play, especially on a lot of those second and longs. Unfortunately, they were getting burnt and they weren't making those plays. And Calgary just marched down that field, right? And I know the DBs, Nichols made a great play earlier in that game for the fumble, all that kind of stuff. So, second half was very good besides that last drive from that defense. So I liked seeing that. And like you say, Tim White, Tommy Neal, like they had, who was the other one? Ontario Wilson. I think they were all around 50, 60 yards, right? And Dembski, who only had 2 catches really, so it was used a little bit less than some of those guys, but it was nice and spread out on offense there between the guys and Brady Oliveira.
I will say I disagree with the comment that the DBs were burnt. I think the problem what the Bombers have usually with mobile quarterbacks are these plays being extended, and DBs can only cover these receivers for so long. Because when you weren't getting with pressure with Serezna or from Willie Jefferson, VA got out of the pocket. He extended plays, and you can't chase a receiver all day long. And I'd say more than half of those plays weren't VA surgically tearing apart the secondary. It was VA getting out of the pocket and using his feet to extend the plays.
Well, that second down play after that first resident sack was more so a great throw, obviously by Vernon Adams, but that was not him scrambling. Especially like I know throughout the game he was scrambling, he was moving out of the pocket for
Yeah.
sure. You
That's
should be
why I
able
think
to
the
play past
majority
the
of
CFLs.
those were that.
It's just that last drive I wanted someone to freaking step up and make a play on it, and just unfortunately they couldn't.
What's the biggest reason Winnipeg can win a Grey Cup this season? I'm going to say experience. This is a team that's just veteran laden. I can't even speak English right now. They know when not to panic. The locker room is filled with leadership of all kinds, from front office to players. And I think also last year's disappointment may add some inspiration or heat into this locker room. The West is tight, and I think there's something to be said about experience over talent. And a lot of these teams have talent. I'd say the West, those rosters are solid, all of them. So I'm going to say experience. And losing 3 Grey Cups also will get you heated as well. And some of these guys won back-to-back Grey Cups, so they're experienced in winning it together. So yeah, I think that would be the biggest reason why they win the Grey Cup.
Yeah, and I like you say, they didn't panic, right? And they didn't panic on this. They had a minute left to get into field goal range, and they didn't panic. Collaros made some big plays, and the guys really stepped up, right? So I like that, and I think what will help them we continue to grow with this offense is that balanced kind of attack where Brady Oliveira is going to get his 15 to 20 catches, and then receivers are going to be spread, the ball kind of thing. It's not going to be focusing on just Tim White's getting 10 catches, Tommy Neal 2, Ontario Wilson 2. I think you got to kind of pick your poison with this offense. Hopefully, as the season progresses, we'll see more of it where defenses can't just clue in on one guy and stop that guy. Right now, you got 4 or 5 guys on that field that can make a difference, and all that. So I'd like to see. I think that will be their biggest asset. I know we talk about it. Defense definitely wins championships, but if this offense can get going and continue to motor along, it'll definitely help them along the way.
Yeah. What's the biggest reason they may not?
Well, part of your talk about experience is guys are older, right? So I think the biggest thing may be injuries, and especially on this D line. If Jake Seresno or Willie Jefferson, knock on wood, are out for a big stretch of time, I think that'll definitely hurt that defense. And we've talked about it last week. There's not a lot of depth on that D line to come in and step. And I know these guys are two very good guys, so it is hard to replace them. But the depth right now is not there, and you need that strong D line along with an O line, but that D line in the CFL to attack that quarterback and disrupt them.
And QB.
Yes.
If Collaros goes down,
yes.
I'd say injuries. I agree.
I mean, injuries will kill everybody, right? I mean, especially in the CFL.
Bombers don't have proven death, though.
No.
What is the Bomber blueprint to victory offense?
Just you continue to do what they're doing, right? Use Brady Oliveira, 15 to 20 touches in that game, and he is in that range. O-line, again, opened up some big holes for him, and Zach Clarles, for the most part, a couple bad throws, not interception worthy, but it just a couple that he didn't get to his receivers who were wide open. The only bad throw was really the one after the Bombers the Calgary turnover, the fumble, where he forced it into Brady Oliveira on the screen, right? Which ended up getting tipped, and there's 4 Calgary players around him. So that was really the only thing I didn't really like from Clarles. I know his arm's not going to be the same, so his throws, they're not going to have the same zip all the time, right? But continue that on offense, move the ball, move the chains, and just be more consistent. They had that good first drive, and then nothing for a little bit, and then they scored again late in that first half. So let's see a little bit more of that and see this offense continue to grow and take that next step.
Yeah. I haven't seen anything that tells me that he can make the throws.
No, it's just sometimes he hits those guys and he makes a wicked throw, and then the next one he one hops it to the guy who's wide open, right? And it wasn't often. It was always 2 times, I think, that game. So
I'd say specifically look for Tim White. Tyler Snead just had a huge game against the Ticats. He had like 9 for 160 something, and a lot of that falls on Ticat DB Dustin Telbert, and I don't know if he's slotting in the same spot. I'm not sure what their final roster will look like or depth chart will look like. But, obviously you got to establish the run early, and I think they will. But hopefully that'll set up a lot of play action and that'll open up the inside, especially with Winton McManus also out,
Yeah.
confirmed out in this game. I think you can also establish the rushing game a lot easier with him. And you can also establish the inside of the field or interior of the field passing game without him patrolling the area as well. So I think look for Tim White. I think he'll have a huge game actually against Hamilton. Does that
Tim White
Hamilton D
revenge
line?
game?
Huh?
Tim White revenge game? Is that what you're
Why
saying?
not? Why not? Against who? Hamilton. And then Hamilton, yeah, against Hamilton. Defense. I think the Bombers need to get pressure on Bo Levi Mitchell. Because if they don't get pressure on him, he's not mobile, but he will carve up the Bomber secondary. And that's not because the Bomber secondary is not good. I do have a lot of confidence in the Bombers secondary. I like the veteran and I like Major Williams, what I see from him so far. But if they don't get pressure on Bo Levi Mitchell, he went 34 for 39 last week. No touchdowns, but he has seen it all. So unless the Bombers can have consistent pressure on Bo Levi Mitchell and get him uncomfortable in the pocket, I think they'll be in trouble. So that's what they got to do. And they also got to get better in their own end. They're giving up the most touchdowns per drive right now at like 34%. I get it. It's one game, but Calgary scored touchdowns and they got to stop doing that. So pressure, decrease the touchdowns.
Yeah, Bo seems to, for the most part, I mean, not that one game last year, I guess, when Bombers blew out 4, he gets 3. Usually has good games against the Bombers. So exactly. They got to get after him. But we got to be able to stop this run game, which they struggled against Calgary and Dietrich Mills. I know Hamilton does not have the guy like Dietrich Mills on that team. I guess it's Larry Roundtree's the guy. Really, and he only had 23 yards last week. So shut that part of it down. Talking about revenge games, like, I mean, Hamilton's got a bunch of guys from Winnipeg, Polenkowski, Dobson, Kenny Lawler, just to name a few. So those guys will be looking to have big games to show the Bombers, hey, this is what you're missing. But get up there, Bo Levi, and Jake Sarezza, three sacks, right? That's a fantastic debut, right?
Oh, yeah,
Willie Jefferson had a sack and 2 more knockdowns. He's at 95, I think, or 96.
That's insane.
Knockdowns. So he's getting close to 100. So I expect big things out of them. Linebackers kind of quiet last week, but that's kind of a good thing. Not that they did anything bad, but they did what they had to do. The one thing that kind of Retta Cramby on safety, a couple big plays got by him. So we need to watch him because I think Bo Levi and Hamilton might attack that middle of the field and go after him downfield kind of thing. So.
But Tony
But
Jones
only
again?
once. Hey,
Tony Jones have 8 tackles.
yeah, quiet 8 tackles. Like, it was nothing huge, and obviously he didn't do anything bad. I'm not saying that at all either, but
Yeah.
he was just stout, right? He did what he had to do. But that running game, unfortunately, got the better of the Bombers.
Yeah, Retta Cramdy had to step up. He had 7 tackles and he got that fumble recovery as well.
Yeah. Only 1 sack last week for Montreal against Hamilton. So that O-line for Hamilton's did a good job.
Yeah.
And Carrick Weefall. I forgot about Carrick Weefall. He's on there too. Big fumble though in overtime.
Whoops. Special teams, what's got to happen?
You know what? Unleash Trey Babel. A very good start to his this season for him. Some good returns there against Calgary. Obviously, Sergio Castillo was Sergio Castillo. And hey, your boy Jamison Sheehan, a couple nice punts there as well. He definitely has gotten better over the last little bit. And, got to shut down Isaiah Wooden from Hamilton. We know Leggio's going to do his work. He's actually turned into a solid kicker. But yeah, if we can win the return battle, Vavel, performs Wooden, we're in business.
I think special teams, I think this is pretty much earlier on in the year because games are usually pretty close. Teams are still finding their way and keeping games close. I just think Castillo's got to keep on being Castillo. Keep hitting those kicks, keep being consistent, because I think it might be one of those games where it's clutch again. Hamilton was ahead of Montreal by 14 points at one time last game. So Hamilton's no joke. Montreal's a good team to come back from 14, but Hamilton had them at a certain point, and they're still very well coached. So this game could and probably will come to a late field goal. So Castillo's just got to be Castillo. Clutch, Was that when is his longest? 63?
Yeah.
Get out of here. So yeah, Castillo just be Castillo.
Right. And talking about that, the rookie there for Calgary missed that field goal, which ended up being huge, right?
Yeah,
Jude McCamey. Or McAdamy? I don't know. So that was big. And then one thing was Calgary's missing a lot of guys in that game too against the Bombers, but the Bombers got it done. But having Rene Pedres, why can't I remember his name? Probably.
English is hard tonight for everyone.
Jeez, wow. Could have been a big difference, obviously, in that game, right?
Yeah.
So, and 3 Rouges for the Bombers still going back to the last game. I know we're talking about the next game.
Which Hamilton player worries you the most heading into week 2? I'm going to go Bo Levi Mitchell. The man can still sling the ball all around the field. The Ticats, like you mentioned earlier, only gave up 1 sack. So if they can keep Bo Levi upright and clean, it could be a long day for the Bombers.
Yeah, I agree on that one. Bo Levi is the guy, obviously, it runs through him. But again, like if he's having a wicked game, then one of his receivers is having a wicked game. So I think the Bombers really got to keep an eye on Kenny Lawler out there and see where he is. Because I think for Hamilton to win this game, I mean, defensively, I mean, they still gave up 30 against Montreal. Sorry, one was a pick 6. They still gave up some points against Montreal. So I think the Bombers can potentially move the ball against Hamilton. Alex, well, you said Snead had 163, right? So Alexander had 336. So the Bombard offense should be able to move the ball, but the defense is going to have to step up and stop these guys. And they got some good receivers, right? Kenny Lawler, Keandre Smith, Curly Gittens.
Yeah, no kidding.
That is a lot, And then Carrick Wheatfall in there too. Yeah, they got a lot of offensive power there, so they're gonna have to keep an eye on those guys. And if Bo Levi gets hot, it's gonna be a high scoring affair.
Predict 1 bold things that happened, Bomber fans. Please smash that subscribe button. I'm not paying attention to what's going on. Just totally into the game talk. Predict 1 bold thing that happens in the game.
I'm going to go with Trey Vavel returning at least a punt or a kick return for a touchdown in this one. He had a very good game last year against Montreal. Against Hamilton. Started that game, that blowout game, right, with a kick return right off the bat for Winnipeg. So I feel like he's going to do another return on the punt or kick return for the Bombers.
The Ticats coverage team average 4.5 yards against. I'm going to go with Tim White getting 150 and 2 touchdowns in this game. His Winnipeg home debut against his old team, against a team that gave up big yards against a slot back recently. So I'm going to say Tim White, 150. I know it's kind of 2 bold things, but combined into one dude. 152 touchdowns. That's a good fantasy line. I won't say receptions because that's way too many now.
So start him.
Yes, for sure. Start him. Don't start him. Start him twice. Start him twice.
Can you do that? It's a CFL app. You might be able to. Who knows?
Say what?
I said it's a CFL fantasy app. Who knows? You might be able to.
Oh, I haven't. I'm not even gonna. Bomber fans, what is your bold prediction of the game? Bomber fans, don't forget to smash. CFL fans, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. CFL Talk, who is the most overrated CFL team right now based on the official CFL power rankings? Undoubtedly, it's Saskatchewan. I do not understand how they are ranked number 1 right now. Like, is it because they're champions last year and they get it by default? Because that's garbage. Of all the teams this year, does the offseason not matter anymore? Does it not matter? Because in the offseason, they lost a big chunk of their players, and I get it. Corey Mace is a good defensive coordinator, probably one of the best, if not the best in the league. But you lost CJ Rivas, you lost AJ Allen, you lost Malik Carney, and you lost Baldonado. That's a lot of production on your defense that you got it. So they might be good at the end of the year, but I don't think they're number 1 team right now going into the year. So it's kind of nonsensical. I don't know what CFL is doing based on what happened in the offseason. It's like the offseason doesn't matter. That's a joke.
Yeah, it's interesting. Saskatchewan and BC both 1-2 after not playing there in week one. So obviously they're very far up there at the top of the hill compared to the rest of the teams. And then Winnipeg's number six,
What is that?
behind Edmonton of all teams. So if you're
And
going based off,
Hamilton.
yeah, well, and I'm going to pick Hamilton as my overrated team here in this sense. I know they're number four, but I mean, they blew a game. They lost a game to Montreal. They did that quite often last year. So some things have not changed
Yeah.
at all for them. Very good team, but they just don't know how to finish games and put them away. And putting Winnipeg sixth, even behind the Elks. So if you're talking about off seasons and last season, I mean, Bombers finished ahead of the Elks. Bombers made the playoffs. Elks didn't. Both winning in week one, but yet somehow the Bombers are sixth, only above the winless teams and the Argos who haven't played. Well, sorry, they're not even above all the winless teams because Hamilton's ahead of them. So I'm going with Hamilton right now until I get to see Saskatchewan and BC play and see what they can do.
It's crazy.
It is. It's, I don't like you were on like Winnipeg was on the road in Calgary where they usually struggle for the most part. And I know Calgary was missing some guys, especially on that D line. But they found a way to get the job done,
Yeah.
and you still ranked them that low.
Last week we talked about, I think we need to get this documented now on the show. Last week we talked about running backs, and I said that Justin Rankin is the best running back in the league. You said no, you had someone else. It's going to be a really good, because Oliveira had a great game, and so did Dedrick Mills. He had a huge game. So I need to know who your number one running back is, and let's follow this thing throughout the year. I'll take Justin Rankin still. Who is your number one running back? Because I think this will be the year of the running backs. As much as this is a quarterback-driven league, I think whoever has the best running back in the league might be holding that Grey Cup.
Well, yeah, I'm going with Brady Oliveira right off the bat. The biggest thing that Rankin had, though, was also not only the rushing, the receiving yards as well, right? And I saw something today with him, possibility gunning for 1,000, right? Receiving and rushing. So very good start for him, for sure. I would definitely probably bump him up a little bit right now. Not a little bit. Like I'd put him over Oliveira, but Oliveira had a very good game. To me, Oliveira is still the guy. I just think Rankin was more of a vocal part of that Elks offense than Oliveira was. Totally kind of thing. And look, Dedrick Mills had a wicked game too, but that guy loves to play against the Bombers. And Mills led the league in rushing last year, did he not?
Yes, 1,400 something.
Yeah. So I mean, he's still good, and he's still very good as well. So those three guys right off the bat. The Ottawa guy, why am I blanking? Starts with an A.
I'm forgetting too.
Also had a very good game as well. Adibeye? No.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. They also had a very good game. So very good game for running backs. 4 out of the 6.
It's going to be a huge year for running backs. Shoot.
Yeah. Did anything about the play clock throw you off?
Nope.
Nothing really there, eh? Still like the 20 seconds inside. I like it in a way. And Calgary and Winnipeg both got penalties for time count. Yeah. I kind of like it more because it was almost arbitrary last year when that 20-second, or the last whatever year is when the 20-second clock started, because it was based on the ref blowing it in, right?
Yeah.
Whereas this one is 35 seconds right after the play and it just goes, right? There's no more, it's up to the ref to decide to blow this in. So I do actually like that rule change. The Rouge, I'll give it. I don't like the fact that the Bombers actually got the ball at the 40 there on that last kickoff by Calgary that rolled into the end zone.
Why?
I feel like if you're going to get that single, you're going to take that single, maybe start 25, 30-ish, not at the 40. I don't even like starting at the 40 after a field goal.
Why?
To me, it's just like you only need 20 more yards at that. And it's going to be even less. Well, I know the goalposts are moving next year, but you really only need 20 yards of field position from the 40, maybe 30, 25, 30 to get into field goal range and possibly kick the winning field goal after that, right?
Yeah.
I don't like that they're starting that close, especially if you're going to give up a single and take that single. Maybe you have to start at the 30. I'd like them to take a look at some of that ball position after field goals and stuff.
It's all going to change next year.
That's true.
But there was definitely a better flow to the game. I can't even remember where you started with that. There's a better flow to the game in regards to the time clock. I thought there was less dead time where you were waiting for the ball to be spotted and these guys, let's start this thing and let's go. Yeah. there's more of a flow, spot the ball, we're going. And so I don't know what that meant for TV time. It felt like the same amount of time to me. In the end, it didn't really affect my viewing as a fan.
No, and I think these are the minor changes to the rules. Really, it'll be next year that'll be the big thing, right? So
we'll see what happens next year.
Plus DAZN.
Benny, do you have anything to say to our friends?
You know what? Thanks a lot for listening. Can't wait for that home opener on Thursday. Hopefully this rain holds off, and have a good week. Go Bombers.
Yeah, let's get another sellout at Princess Auto. At Princess Auto Stadium. Man, I miss Winnipeg Stadium Canadiens. And in the words of LeVar Burton, we'll see you next time.
Hey, friends and neighbors, don't forget to check us out online on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at Ray Benny Sports. And don't forget to check out our YouTube channel. Leave a like, leave a comment, tell us what you think.